Welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, January 27th. Call to order at 7:01 p.m. I'm going to pass over our first item since we don't have our other member here tonight. Discussion regarding Information Technology Department staffing. Review and potential vote on fire apparatus purchase. Chief? Whichever one you want to sit in. So I saw payment terms, no, but contingent on town meeting, no consent.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not exactly the language I was hoping for, but it is prominently at the top of the quote. So,
Bill, any concerns?
I have no concern. No, I mean, you get the first option and nothing on the second.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to engage Greenwood Emergency Vehicles LLC for the purchase of one new E1/Spartan 1,500 GPM /2,000 gallon pumper tanker apparatus, subject to appropriation at town meeting in accordance with Sourcewell Contract 113021-RVG-1 in an amount not to exceed $743,351, and to authorize Brian Smith, Town Administrator, to execute all necessary agreements.
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
So we will follow up with them tomorrow. We're going to start that process.
Do you need anything else from me in the meantime?
I don't think so, so I'll complete the paperwork. I'll copy you on the communication.
Okay.
And then we'll see if they need anything further from us.
Okay.
Okay?
And I will send them an email about the W-9 and tax exempt.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you. Not unless you got something else for us. Not unless you have something else for us. Review and approval of draft special town meeting warrant. Go ahead.
So there's been a flurry of communications about some edits to town meeting warrant articles. And so I don't have a current draft. We have done some follow-up with the Bureau of Accounts, specifically in relation to the article that was addressing the deficit and the assessor's overlay account, to make sure that, one, we've calculated it correctly, and two, it's attributed to the correct fund. So I have the assessing office working on that piece. So I should have a revised draft this week for your rescheduled joint meeting with the FinCom and Capital Planning Committee. But we are getting closer to that deadline where, if we're going to hold that February 19th date, it's going to get a little bit tighter. So I don't know if you all want to consider a potential other date in case you need another reading. And just to further clarify for you, Bill, the article that I had initially proposed to transfer funds for the assessor's overlay was attributing the judgment and the interest bearing.
Right.
There's an open question about whether or not the interest needs to be charged to a different fund.
Okay.
And that may change the exact dollar amount that needs to be transferred.
Okay.
And I was working on that with the Department of Revenue. And I relayed the information that I received last Friday to the assessing office. And so they're reviewing it. They had a slightly different interpretation of the guidance. And so they were just following back up with the Department of Revenue to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So I'm just waiting on that confirmation.
Okay.
So some moving parts, and yes, one more meeting may not be enough. So what would we look at for another meeting? I believe we had the 19th because we had a board meeting on the 19th already, correct?
I think that was our rationale, yeah.
if we're trying to buy more time, was there any reason that we had to do it before March? I know we were talking about wanting to. Is that just about the MSBA?
We were trying to do it for March
Okay.
because the MSBA question, we are being invited into the program in March,
Right.
but we have a 90-day window. So any time in March would be more than satisfactory.
I don't know if we want to maybe contemplate March 2nd.
Okay.
If we're going to do it on a board night.
Works
It's
for me.
not a
Yeah.
not a budget night, so
Okay.
at least for the moment. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know what the week of March, pretty much except Wednesday, the first week of March, except Wednesday is all budget meetings, except
Right.
the board. So, yeah, maybe. I mean, we can make a firmer decision on Monday
Sure.
Okay.
in the joint meeting, but
Okay.
I think contemplating delaying it a little because of all the moving parts is probably realistic.
Okay. I will communicate that to all parties. And I
Okay.
should hopefully have an answer for you on this on Thursday. So
Okay. As well as the other items that you and I had discussed.
correct.
That we may
Yep.
want to talk about. Okay. All right. We'll pass over review of the FY 27 operating budget and capital budget requests, general government. We'll do those on the second. Review of surplus equipment requests, highway department F-350 truck.
This is a first reading.
It is. Any questions so far? All right, carry for a second read.
You got it.
First read, surplus equipment request, senior services department, ice machine. Questions?
I have no concern. Again, this is a first read.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Carry for a second read.
You got it.
Excuse me. Review of draft environmentally preferred purchasing EPP policy, first read.
Hopefully the introduction from Jan Amin made sense. This is a new mass DEP requirement for towns. I included in your packet your existing recycled product purchasing policy that had been in place prior to 2016. You last updated it in September of 2016. But DEP is now requiring towns to replace that policy with this new language. So I based it off the template, added a little bit more from some aspects of a neighboring town's policy that seemed to fit. But it's just a first draft, and we can certainly amend it in a manner that you feel is warranted.
Any questions on the
Yeah,
first read?
I don't see it at this moment. I don't see any reason to amend it.
Okay.
Right.
I guess my upfront concern, only concern with it is, are we limiting ourselves to the ability to use different companies, or
It's possible.
is it really a better product based on?
I think those are all the questions that come to mind when we've had this conversation in the past.
Right?
I think to the state's credit, and there's a reference in the policy under the objectives that the departments will be encouraged to consider vendors who have met these standards under the state's cooperative purchasing contract through OSD. And I do believe over the last few years they have expanded the number of vendors and the products available. So I do think that there's more opportunities that maybe didn't exist 10
Okay.
plus years ago. So we can certainly do a better job of educating our department heads about those opportunities.
Right.
But I do think that there will always be instances where a department may come down and do an assessment and select a product after they've done their analysis that truly meets the test of the moment. And that may not always be the product that is is more environmentally friendly, and that is a trade-off. And the policy, I think, does have language that acknowledges that this is a starting point. You're going to go
Okay.
through this assessment. It doesn't prevent you from using something.
Okay.
I just took away from this that maybe, I think it's a fair assumption that maybe towns could do more to educate departments about purchasing options and do more education around that, and I think
Right.
we can do that.
Right. Yeah, and that was my other concern as well, is because whenever we make a change like this, or the state makes a change like this, there's a learning curve for everybody.
Right.
And it just eats up more time. you know,
Agreed.
For everybody to catch up and try
Agreed.
to get on board. So,
Agreed.
but-
I did see one example from another town, and maybe we could work that into our version. They gave some concrete examples or
Mhm.
specific links to resources. And so maybe there's a way for us to be a little more direct,
Mhm.
so that if a staff member is trying to interpret this policy and figure out how it could be incorporated into their work, it's not so many extra steps.
Mhm.
So maybe I can spend a little time working with the staff to make that a little clearer.
Okay. I have no other concerns.
With the when feasible or where feasible language is in there and present where needed, I think it's sufficient for
Yeah.
allowing for exception when needed.
Right.
Okay, we'll carry for second read.
Thank you.
Review and accept the 2025 Housing Rehabilitation Revolving Loan Fund Annual Report. I feel like we're always talking about these.
This is not your grant. This is
No,
your
I know.
actual revolving loan fund.
Yep.
Am I reading this correctly? We didn't give out any loans? It looks like just a 706?
It does appear that new loans were not issued in 25.
Okay.
I think my recollection is that they issued all the new loans through what was left of the CDBG grant that we were doing in our partnership with Northfield and Warwick.
Mm-hmm.
And we closed that project out after several extensions in June.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that this is suggesting that because we used that other process, there were no new loans coming out of this specific fund
Yet.
yet.
Yeah, okay.
They may have
Right.
something sort of in the works with the resident, but it hasn't come through yet.
Okay.
It looks like the withdrawal will indicate, the small withdrawal there indicates that there'll probably be a project coming from that or related to that, so.
I do know that it was right around the time that our new website was being assembled, that there was an outreach from the Housing Authority and the office that oversees the fund to have a conversation about how we can better inform residents about its availability off of our town website. So I did ask them that we wait until January until the new site was up and we'd fixed all the content. But I think we're in a place now where we could talk about the best way to advertise that to residents. So we can work with the HRA on this.
Do we need a motion on accepting this report?
I believe we do.
Okay, I make a motion, we accept the Franklin County, I lost it, where did it go? Uh-oh. Franklin County Regional Housing and Redevelopment Authority report for the period of January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, as written.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Review and potential appointment to the Public Works Feasibility Committee, Ps,
I have no concerns.
nor do I.
Make a motion to appoint Cody Pease as a member of the Public Works Feasibility Committee for a term beginning January 27th, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2026.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Review of Patrol Officer resignation, Bryant. So we have a resignation for Officer Bryant, effective February 1st. wish him the best. Sad to see him go, but understand. And so we'll have a vacancy, and we'll speak with Chief about getting an ad in front of the board, and then we'll go out to hire.
Do you
So-
want that on your upcoming meeting?
Yes, if he
Okay.
is ready, if there's any changes we need to make or anything, but otherwise, yeah.
Okay.
Any concerns?
Those concerns.
Okay. And then we have a review of the Community Services Cadet resignation, Wetruba. So our cadet resigned as of last Friday, or then Thursday, I believe. I did speak with her, and she had a lot of good things to say about the program,
Mhm.
even though she's resigning, and did offer to provide some feedback. And I said, meet with Chief, and provide that being the first person to go through the program, and
Mhm.
what was working and what wasn't, or at least in the time that she spent. So I think we'll regroup on what to do next, and I can speak with Chief and then see what his recommendation is in this vein from here, and we can bring it back into a future meeting when we're ready to
Okay.
discuss what next steps will be, if that makes sense.
Agreed.
Okay,
Understood.
great. Review of professional services engineering proposal for Care Drive, Weston and Sampson, first read.
I have no concerns.
Okay, same. We'll carry for a second read.
Okay.
Review and approval of the AP warrant. I'll make a motion to approve the 16th accounts payable warrant for fiscal year 2026 in the aggregate amount of $455,427.75 as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. I believe that covers regular business.
It does.
With that, we are going to pass over the second executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A4. But we will be doing the first one. So I'll make a motion that we go into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body and the chair so declares, which I do so declare. New England Benevolent Police Association, Local 121, Police Unit. We will not return to regular session. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Roll call.
Chairman Smith?
Aye.
Selectman Benbury?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.